Boom.
Hello and welcome to Let's Play Y2K. I'm Grandma Party.
And I'm fantastic.
Oh, I didn't ask you how you were doing today.
I'm flawless. Yourself?
A little gassy. So now we're in the sweet-ass arcade. It's like the arcade of my 1990s dreams.
It's got all the good games so far. Knockoff.
Ooh, $1.
Ah, here he is.
Oh, sweaty girl. Oh, you can just hear her heavy breathing.
Yes! This place is the bomb! Wow! This is a lot better than I expected! There's so many beat arcades around.
Does that girl live in Frankton? I don't think I've ever seen her before.
I don't know. She's ancient anyway. What do you think she is, 26? Hey now, that's really not that much older than me, dude. Whatever, you're ancient too. Let's come back here later. We should get to the factory.
We saw something we never could have imagined. A being made of stars. The entire galaxy, no, the universe maybe, compressed into the silhouette of one entity. It hadn't noticed us at first. We were as insignificant to him as the trillions of stars at its core. But when provoked, it came after us. Like we were the most sought-after thing in the universe. I'd been scared before. Everyone has, but those past memories of fright were nothing compared to what we had just experienced. As if a black hole incarnate had come to exist and it wanted us gone. As if consuming us was its only purpose. I couldn't say why I felt that way at the time, but I had known it was true. And with all this in mind, Sammy's vanishing was starting to feel like the least supernatural thing I would experience.
Panda Bear! What the hell was that? What the hell is going on? Well, what just happened? What? Can you even believe what just happened? Oh man, dude! We need to get your photos developed! Developed? This thing is digital, baby! So what now? Do we just leave? I'm gonna go with yes!
Chapter 2.
Yay! Actual tangible progress through this hell I've made for myself. Oh look,
Once again,
more monologues.
I left the old factory.
Oh my god.
Frightened.
Be honest, was this every person you went to college with?
Once again,
Uh,
I didn't have
I hope not. I don't remember them being this bad. Maybe a couple of them. Maybe one of my first roommates. But other than that,
When I was a high school kid, I used to go to UTD parties in Dallas, and that was an engineering school, and this was literally half the people at the party.
really,
Yeah.
I wonder if it's...
So there's this... Oh, go ahead.
I think it's once you put on that type of plaid and layer it underneath or above a graphics tee, something just changes in you.
There was an SA goon that went on a multi-state police chase and basically was up for like 3 days and got out of the car and the cops tased him and he ripped the tasers out of himself. And then the dogs got him and brought him.
While we waited for Michael's camera to transfer the photos, we began to talk.
I was talking to my cousin about this recently. The lifelong implications of seeing something actually, undeniably supernatural. Specifically, your reflection doing something that you were not doing. He has a 6-year-old daughter. She's really precocious. Apparently, she told my cousin that when she looked into the mirror, she was smiling, but that she knew she wasn't smiling. When I thought about that, I knew it would destroy any respect you had for the rules of life or the boundaries of what could happen. I asked him what he said, and he just shrugged his shoulders and said, kids say weird shit. I pushed him a little bit on the subject later on after he had a few drinks in him, and he said that it scared him to picture his daughter and another version of his daughter in the mirror, smiling when the other looked so miserable. He told me that his wife said his daughter was just confused, that she probably felt sad but was smiling from having fun playing. So inside she wasn't smiling, but outside she was. Maybe she couldn't understand what it meant to look happy outwardly, but feel inwardly depressed. Like as if her vocabulary wasn't enough to express depression. But, I don't know. She is a smart kid and somehow it felt wrong.
Her reflection smiled at her? That's really creepy. Have you ever had any other experiences with paranormal stuff? Like before?
Not really. I've always had a bit of an interest in it. I always thought that these sort of things follow certain people around. Like there's something that picks a particular person and forces them to see all the weirdness that others miss out on.
You say that with a lot of affection.
I don't know. It's just kind of been my thing for a while. Conspiracies, ghosts, missing people, things like that.
When did you first get into this sort of thing?
I can't remember one thing that really pulled me in. My parents always fell asleep watching TV. They used to sneak into their room and watch those missing persons shows while they were sleeping. Once your mom finally got internet to Frankton, I started checking out some of the more paranormal websites. Before long, I realized that the information was too scattered. I spent a few weekends learning HTML, and before I knew it, Onism 1999 had over 15,000 hits each week.
Wait, You were involved with making Onism 1999?
You didn't know that? I figured that's why you kept talking to me about the missing Asian girl.
No, I just needed to get all that off my chest. Look, Michael, I need to be entirely honest with you, but yeah, just promise me you won't think I'm insane or anything.
Okay, fair enough. What did you lie about?
I met the girl who went missing. Her name is Sammy. I had followed a cat into the abandoned factory, and I found her there. She had been looking for her cat. I just assumed the cat hung out there and she had gone in to try and find him when he didn't go back home. But the thing is, she said some really strange stuff. Stuff about living in the factory, pretending not to know what elevators were. Well, okay, maybe not pretending. I think she really didn't know what they were. There were weird gaps in her knowledge that I had interpreted as her being quirky, but now I wonder if there was actually something really wrong with her.
You saw her yesterday, right? So you saw her after she went missing? That's actually a good thing, Alex. This means she wasn't taken by some serial killer or a rapist.
It means she was swallowed up by a being made of stars and planets. How is that better?
Fair enough. So what was her last name? Did she tell you that much? Maybe we can check online for a missing persons report. You could call the police and tell them you know where the video was taken.
I don't know. There still is a part of me that thinks that, like...
What, that you dreamed it? Dude, I don't know. That would be a pretty specific dream. So you think you went into the factory, came home, and then had a really realistic dream where you met a missing girl you hadn't seen before?
But... You see, she didn't exactly look like the girl in the video. There was something skeletal about her appearance. Something otherworldly.
Otherworldly?
Yeah. Dude, just forget I said it. Did the pictures upload?
Yeah, let me pull them up.
How is this possible? They completely distorted the photos!
Holy shit!
Okay, well, yeah, this is pretty otherworldly.
It was as if someone had cracked an egg over my head. What trickled out was hot dread, a feeling of pure anxiety. All of my fears were confirmed. What I was experiencing was real. There was no doubt about it. We uploaded the photos to Onism 1999 and waited for an explanation. We had our doubters, but more people wanted to believe than not. And with each reply, Sammy got pushed further away from the forefront of the discussion. I explained how the building was the same one from the elevator girl video, that everyone was more concerned by the creepy figures in the photo. Each time my little mailbox turned red, I slowly realized that everyone on this forum wanted the content to be true. They needed it to be. A few people tried to explain why the photos were distorted, but most people believed it to be ghosts, or the devil, or other stupid things like that. I considered myself something of a philosopher in college. I thought I had answers, but now that I've come face to face with the otherworldly, I know now that every person who tells you about spirituality, dead people and all that have no idea what they're talking about. Someone told a lie and it somehow stuck. I told the truth, and it just gets muddied up by that same ancient myth. With the exception of my post, most of the things on that forum seemed like lies. That wasn't until about 2 weeks after my post, when a user posted something about a girl who could rip holes in time and space. I wouldn't have believed it myself, but he had photos, and we had seen the girl before.
So you realize we've seen this chick before, right?
Oh, really? Where? Wait.
Knew you'd get there eventually. It's that old lady from the arcade.
Jeez, enough of that old crap. She's probably our age.
Don't lump me in with you 20-somethings. I have a bright future ahead of me.
Oh, if only you knew. Just wait till you're done with college. You'll be...
Boring and fat like the rest of your graduating class? I'm looking forward to it. In the meantime, I will continue to be my interesting, slim, nubile self.
Nubile?
I stand by my statement. Anyway, let's take another look at those photos.
Wow. It's just so unbelievable. What is the likelihood that this is a thing?
It's incredibly unlikely. But since we've got nothing better to do, let's say we visit Ye Olde Arcade for some air hockey and interview an interdimensional traveler.
Is this
I don't believe this-
the house from Full House? That is the house from
It
Full
is
House.
absolutely the house from Full House. You can see the cave where Joey lived, ate, and went to the bathroom in the corner.
Gosh. I might have missed
Yeah.
that. Did you guys mention that in one of the first videos, or did?
Absolutely, but my sound quality was much worse.
All right.
Yeah, each video goes on, I learn a little bit more about audio. How exciting,
You've got-
Grandpa. He's new. I love him. In the past episode, he was lost in the park.
This part's
What?
not so
Like-
bad. I mean, this is kind of a Earthbound music going on. Some weird, wonky things going around town.
Yeah, just kind of wander around, see what's changed, see if anything new has been added. Hint, it wasn't.
Yep.
Big Mama with her thigh gap is still there. And so we're like, maybe I don't have time for this.
Can you crawl into the sewer? That's the next question. Uh-oh.
I was looking for a red balloon. Yeah, we saw Jamie Jamerson before. I just want to see if they switched the dialogue for a different day.
Trash pizza again. Or was it trash
You know,
burgers originally? I'm sorry.
I forget that initial trash can. And then I realized there might be treasure around that I haven't got yet. And I'll be goddamned if I leave a single piece of treasure unscrounged in this game.
You never know when you need it.
Yeah. You might find his virginity in a box somewhere.
I feel like it's going to
Just
be in
kidding.
the elevator.
That's not where you find virginity. That's where you lose it. Boo.
Is that on a post-it note taped to the monitor so you didn't lose it?
You need more credit, okay? I hang out with all you dads all day.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, I can do a dad joke spur of the moment.
Yep.
Speaking of hot dads, it's my favorite. And I realize I can get these.
Oh! What? Is there a name for that item now? Is it like
Oh yeah, that's Dolly. We stole the cat from the person who died in real life and is being used as a plot device.
it's like a hook cat or a hook claw type thing?
Did you ever play Wild Arms 1?
Yes.
Yeah, it's basically the rat that triggers switches.
Yeah. All right. No funky name. They didn't have the effort for that.
Nope.
Ooh, so Jar Jar Binks still, huh?
Oh yeah. And we've seen this guy before.
Jesus Christ.
When did Phantom Menace come out?
2001? No. 99?
I was going to say, I want to say 2001.
Gosh.
I know. I'm taking one of these basketballs, though. We're going to show people how to ball in this town. I still haven't found the pawn shop, by the way.
Is it in one of the other, towns that have two houses? Perhaps there's a pawn village?
Maybe there's a pawn district.
That'd be nice.
You should go to Marianne's pawn shop. Marianne will get in the pawn shop with you. Oh, that one fell flat.
Shaking my head. I'm sorry. It's bad commentary. Bad radio.
God damn it. God damn it.
No.
I'm gonna have to get Catherine to do it with me again. I'm gonna get divorced.
Yep. Start yelling at her.
Showed Grandpa how to ball. What the hell was... Oh yeah, it's the cat.
Yeah, that was different.
Thought it was the basketball again for a second.
There's the arcade. It's Bulma.
If that's Bulma, then there's about 30 Master Roshis wandering around with Alzheimer's disease.
I mean, that is a master. Oh, uh-oh.
Oh, it's Stink Wife.
Are you kidding me? That's totally your job. Just man up and say something to her.
I don't think I should. It'd be, good for you to learn to talk to girls before you go away to college.
I know how to talk to girls. But she is a senior citizen, man. What is she, like, 27? Ew. That's your thing, man.
I told you to cut it out with the age crap. She's probably no older than 24. And besides, aren't you the nubile one? You're much more desirable.
Yes, that's true, I am.
Listen here, boys. We have a zero creeping on women policy here. If you'd like to ogle some women, I'm sure your mothers would love it if you were home in time for supper.
It's not that. It's just we have this photo of you that we
You've been taking photos of me? Wow. You guys are even more screwed up than I thought. Can't say you'd be the first pervs I've thrown out of this place.
Okay, we give in. Just ease off. We didn't mean to be creepy.
Then why were you taking photographs of me?
Hey, we didn't take the photos. Someone on the internet did.
Someone on the internet? What are you talking about?
If you'd stop slamming our heads together for 1 minute, we'd love to explain.
Okay, explain.
There's this website where people post conspiracies and other weird things, and there's this photo of you, like, exploding things with your mind.
Exploding things with my mind. I haven't done that in a while, so I'm sure it's an old photo.
So you're not denying that you can do that?
Of course I can't. Not with my mind, at least. This goes against all the better judgment I have in me, but can you take me to a computer to show me these photos?
Yeah, sure. I live like 5 minutes from here.
Shadow, I didn't think it was a 5
I
o'clock
think
shadow.
it's supposed to be 5. I mean, shadows usually don't sit above the beard, I think.
Listen, you wear the beard. The beard doesn't wear you.
Yeah.
Said with a full neck beard.
Yeah. I was going to say. Do you think
Bye, Bulma.
Michael is Alex's beard? Are they,
That's not how beards work.
they're reversing it.
You can't have a reverse beard.
Yeah, it's like a wingman. He's making him think that, they're, they're a couple, but maybe Stinky Girl can change that. She can whisper him out of this relationship that Michael's not too happy with.
You think she's gonna do the reverse, turn him straight again?
Yeah, I mean, it's their long
Well,
con.
that's me.
Oh.
I don't know when these were taken.
How exactly do you explain all the blowing stuff up with your mind things? Can you really do that?
It's not exactly with my mind. I use sound. Remember when I kicked your ass earlier? I use the sound of my keytar to deal physical damage. If you study the physical properties of sound, you can learn enough about acoustics to both heal and damage objects orally.
Where did you learn to do something like that?
Oh, years of private practice and studying, really. So tell me more about this website. What is Onism 1999?
Basically, it's a place on the internet for people to talk about conspiracies, the occult, and anything supernatural.
Seems like something boys would like. Do you recognize the location from these photos?
That's behind the old grocery store. Obviously, you've been there before.
Interesting.
What's your name, by the way?
My name's Vela Wild. It's interesting to meet you. I'm guessing you're a cameraman, and this is your sidekick, Ginger Boy?
Usually I go by Alex. Only my mom is allowed to call me Ginger Boy.
She really gets us. You really would be my sidekick, Alex. Cameraman by day, Michael by night.
Right. So, why do you two spend all your time on such odd websites? Do you really believe this stuff?
Michael and I spent the next hour or so recounting the events of me finding Sammy, and us running into the star creatures inside of the old factory. As we told the story, Bella just looked into my eyes and never reacted. I first began with trepidation. As I went on, I could tell she was doing her best to understand my story. Something felt familiar about her. But not in the I've met her sort of way. Something deeper. I dated a girl in college who was a women and gender studies major. She told me that she believed men and women were all the same at our core. That we were all made of the same elements, not just on a physical level, but in a metaphysical level. She was a strong believer in spirituality, although she'd be the first to tell you she wasn't religious. She told me she believed everyone had soulmates, plural. A series of people we were compatible with. In her theory, this applied to friendship as well as romantic relationships. She said that when the universe was created, all matter was one object. And that since we're all matter, we are all the same. She said that she believes our soulmates were cut from the same section of that initial piece of matter. That unexpected feeling of familiarity you feel when you meet someone for the first time means you were meant to meet. I personally didn't believe it. I still don't think she has all her facts straight. But every time I feel what I felt when Bella looked in my eyes, I thought of this explanation.
Did you manage to speak with the entities?
The entities? I guess you mean the star creatures.
Yes, those are the ones.
No, we were too busy running for our lives.
Did you try and take photographs of them, Michael?
Yeah, let me pull them up.
Bella told us things. Confusing things. Things that, under normal circumstances, I wouldn't have believed. The way she spoke seemed two-sided. As if for a few moments, a side of her that she was trying to keep hidden was visible. And as soon as we noticed, she made to cover herself up. She made jokes more often than she was serious. But when the serious aspect of her personality appeared, I was convinced that's who she really was. This was almost more fascinating than the information she was giving us. That's the thing with people, isn't it? You could show them all the mysteries of the universe, but if they're distracted by the human element of the tale, they'll shift all of their attention there. Self-consumed with humanity. Self-consumed with other people. You know? That's just how people are.
My experience with them is limited, but what I've observed was powerful. I understand that what I'm about to tell you will sound like a lie, so I ask you to look past the words I'm saying and hear the truth behind them. A short time ago, I entered into a dark place, both physically and metaphysically. While I was there, I encountered the entities for the first time. I can't say what about their presence was so striking to me, but the moment I saw them, I felt something. Something that was weighted. Like their bodies took up the entirety of the room, as if they were the room. At first, I approached one and we spoke. However, the contents of the conversation isn't important to the story. Something I said upset it, and it tried to grab me. It was almost like a mother trying to smother its child. The pain was beyond description. It scared me to death. The entity was incredibly heavy. I managed to break free, but the weight of the thing remained on me. And for the entirety of the following week, it was as if someone was twisting a drill inside me. My head would throb and the pain felt bone deep. You probably can't imagine what it was like, you two, but just the thought of the pain now brings tears to my eyes.
I reflected on her story. I wanted to reply, but something inside me told me to let the words hang in the air. It was as if the longer the pause between her words and mine, the more truth they carried. Finally, I spoke.
That's horrifying. But can you explain what you mean by entered a dark place? Or more importantly, physically and metaphysically? I can understand doing it physically and mentally, but I need some help with the meta part.
Metaphysical is a word, an adjective to be more specific. It means pertaining to or of the nature of metaphysics. Metaphysics is the branch of philosophy that includes the first principles, includes ontology and cosmology, and is intimately connected with epistemology. Epistemology is, of course, a branch of philosophy that investigates the origin, nature, methods, and limits of human knowledge.
Thank you for the definition, which I already knew. I was looking for something more concrete, more...
I'm afraid that's all I feel comfortable telling you. I don't know you at all, and to reveal something so personal seems like I'd be opening myself up to vulnerability.
Do you mean to imply that you've found a way to exist inside of a metaphysical space? That you...
Enough! I don't need to talk about this with you. It makes me uncomfortable. Don't you get that?
Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to piss you off.
Look, I need to get back to the arcade. I was technically in the middle of a shift. I'm gonna write my number down. Call me if you see any more interesting comments on my photos, or have a run-in with the entities.
Wait, I have one more question before you go.
Alright.
How did you get to be so powerful? You took both of us on and barely broke a sweat.
You act as if that's impressive. Look, I've trained myself in the metaphysical space, inside of the mind dungeon. I like you two, so I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Here's one last number. Call it if you ever want to open your mind and expand your battle abilities. That's all I'll say for now. The guy on the other end can explain more.
The way I look at it, we have two things we need to do. If we want to hang out with Vela again, we're gonna need to train ourselves. Also, if we want to call her, we're gonna need to search Onism 1999 for some interesting posts.
Okay, simple enough. Go grind and then give Villa a call.
Yeah, but don't forget to search Onism 1999 for some good posts. She'll probably hang up on you and kick our butts again if we don't have anything cool.
Man, are we even cool enough to hang out with someone like her?
Nope! I'm still growing, and you're an overgrown man-child who can barely pick up a record. So let's head out of Frankton and try to find some things to beat up.
Sounds good. We should stock up on some healing items at the burger joint before heading out.
Hey! Just calling to see if you figured it out. I would love to just come out and say it, but I think it would scare you to death. And that would ruin everything.
Nope. I haven't figured anything out. Look, if you're just gonna keep calling me and say vague, creepy shit, you should at least tell me your name.
Oh! It's your best childhood friend. Think back to when you met me. We were kids. I think Losing My Religion by R.E.M. had just become a big hit. My mom didn't want me listening to it because she was afraid it would turn me into a bad kid or something. I went over to your house and we listened to it on your stereo for hours. My mom came to pick me up from your house, heard the song, and freaked out. How can you not remember that? It was the funniest thing.
The story was so specific. It sounded so familiar, and yet I couldn't place it. It was like I had read it in a book somewhere or watched it on a TV show, but still no particular name or date came to mind.
Yeah, you're right. You probably wouldn't remember that. Look, I'm going to keep calling you until you remember me. Remember what you used to say. Everything happens for a reason. That reason is nothing happens for any reason.
What a...
It was a pleasure.
It was a blast.
I'm sorry to put you through this.
Hey,
right.
I had a good time, and I look forward to watching other people suffer in the future.
All right, thanks, man.
Bye.